I've discerned that there are 4 diseases that the devil is bringing to destroy people in the body of Christ. It didn't used to be an issue, but the church seems to be keeping quiet over it. And if we do not arise and pray, number 1 is called cancer. Cancer. Thank God for the research that is being done in medicine, but we need to pray and upgrade our levels of graces so that we can bring to end this demonic thing that is killing people. I know many people, sadly, who have died in the last 2 or 3 months because of this satanic thing. One time, I think it was maybe a few months ago, I was praying for people, and then this beautiful young lady, 7 years, this little girl, swollen by that devilish thing. You would think it is old people, but now 7 years. What did the girl do? Satan for you. Cancer. Cancer. Number 2 that I want us to pray for is Satan is beginning to creep, and he's fighting the next generation in the church, and he's using the tool of infertility. Let me tell you the truth. I'm not a doctor, but there are many people who are all right. It is because of the coming of John that Elizabeth is suffering. It has nothing to do with Elizabeth, even though later we know that it is God's plan so that John will come just shortly after Jesus and not be discouraged. But all the same, infertility, you will see somebody who is all right, wife all right, are we together? Or she would take in, and then here comes this demonic, satanic, familiar spirit, an encounter, and we think it does not matter. I don't want to, you see, territorial advancement and preserving the purposes of God is transgenerational. Every time Satan begins to fight continuity, there is a goal, there is an agenda. I speak in parables. It's important for you to be discerning. The next 10 years with this onslaught of infertility on the church is going to deplete the strength of believers to a point where we will go back to Egypt and become slaves. This thing is a strategy, and we must pray. Number 3, every madman Jesus saw in the Bible, he healed the person. There was one sickness Jesus did not tolerate. There were other sicknesses, some were healed, but madness was not one of it. To the point that Jesus crossed over to heal one person and return back, a madman in Gadara. This thing called mental health. It's creeping gradually in Nigeria, it's not too much. But in Europe, America, you see children and they tell you mental health. Someone can pick a knife, kill himself, kill the mother, and begin to act. I mean, the stress that families, especially in Europe and US, are going through because of mental health. You have 4 children and 3 of them are almost like madmen. You literally live your destiny and you are focused at managing them. Every time you see distraction away from purpose, it is Satan's strategy. When the nation of Israel were serving the Lord, he said it is because they have straw. Stop giving them straw, so that they will be busy looking for straw and they will not have the time to serve the Lord. This is number 3. Are we together now? This is very important. The 4th one is not sickness per se like health, but is the spirit of lack and poverty. And Satan is using the strategy of borrowing. For as long as I am alive, I will never watch the church of God go down economically. It doesn't matter what people say or do not say. It is part of the mandate to help God's people with dignity and integrity correct the errors that are around the whole teaching on wealth that brings materialism, but to help God's people for God's sake to be empowered. If an unbeliever is the one training your child because of lack, that child will serve the God of that unbeliever. There is only one reason, hear me believers, why Egypt goes to, I used to say one, but I found 2 reasons now. There are 2 reasons why Israel goes to Egypt. Number 1 is to learn wisdom and knowledge. Number 2 is hunger. Are we together? Genesis 42, 1 and 2. There was hunger, and Jacob spoke to his sons. He saw that there was corn, but the location was wrong. There was supply. He saw that there was money, but the man who has that money is a cultist. But I am hungry, and my husband has 5 children. My husband has 6 children. And the cultist is saying, come, you will walk with me. You will bow to my God, and you will earn a salary of 200,000. And church people are saying, don't worry, God is faithful, love him anyhow. And the person is getting into trouble. Give us verse 1.